very special day for you all, and we hope that you'll remember it. Well, it's a special day for us to get to see how you're accepting God and Christ into your life, and how you will be baptized and be receiving your first Holy Communion today. But before that, I have to see if you were listening to the gospel and to the first reading, which was the Acts of the Apostles. You think they'll do it? Yeah. All right. So if you were listening to the first story from the Acts of the Apostles, we had St. Paul, right? Y'all remember St. Paul? And Paul came to Jerusalem. And he wanted to meet who? Who did he want to meet in Jerusalem?
The Father.
The fathers? He wanted to, well, the early church fathers, we would also call them begins with an A, the apostles, okay? So Paul wanted to come to Jerusalem to meet the apostles. And do you remember, were they really happy to see him and they wanted to meet with him?
They were scared and they're a little bit frightened of him.
That's exactly right. They were afraid and they were scared of him because if you remember the story, Paul originally was hurting the early church, right? He was making fun of them and he was arresting them and he was giving them all kinds of trouble. So they didn't trust Paul, right? But Paul converted, right? Jesus came to Paul and he realized that Jesus was the Son of God, and so he became a believer. But when he came to meet the apostles, they were still a bit skeptical of him, right? Now, have any of you ever been in a situation at school or something where you all had your own little group of friends? Yeah? I'm sure none of you had that, right? Now, you all have your own little group of friends, and then this new kid on the block shows up, right? Does that new person always get welcomed with open arms? Why not?
This is a new kid. You don't know him.
Okay, it's a new kid. You don't know him, right? Can you trust him? You can't trust them, right? Well, you don't know whether you can trust them, right? So isn't that the way it is? A new person comes in and they want to meet new people, but the people all kind of stick together, right? They want to meet the new person.
You have to try to get to know them before you add them to your group.
Okay, so you have to try to get to know them. Yeah, you know all about this stuff. Exactly. Now, if you remember the story, Paul comes in and he wants to meet the apostles, and they're really afraid of him. So somebody else steps up to help out. Do you remember who that other person was who came to them?
Barnabas.
Barnabas, that's right. So Barnabas came, and what did Barnabas do?
Did he say group?
Well, Barnabas is already part of the group, right? But Paul wants to be part of the group. So what does Barnabas do? What does he say to the other apostles? Gee whiz. I don't know, Miss Lori. We might have to do this over again.
Did he say, please, that kid out in your group?
Yeah, he asked them to welcome Paul into the group because he said Paul was a good guy and he really did believe in Jesus. And so he wanted to introduce Paul to the group so that they would get to know the apostles, right? And then did the apostles say yes, that they would meet Paul? Yeah. After Barnabas stood up for him, then they were willing to meet him. Okay, now have you ever done something like that? Where there's a new kid or something and they look alone and you were in your group? Did you ever go over and invite that kid to come and join you? Yeah?
Yes. Well, there's a different person, and they look so lonely, and I came over and asked them if they wanted to play.
There you go. You saw a person who looked lonely, and you asked them if they wanted to play.
It's a special needs child in my class, and me and my friends, we're like a group, and I said we should let her join.
Okay, see that? See, so you guys know what this is all about, right? You have to sometimes be a friend to someone to introduce them to others. And one of the things about the story that most people don't pick up, that, Barnabas wasn't his real name. Barnabas was a nickname. Anybody have a nickname? Did anybody call you something other than your regular name? Okay. Well, Barnabas was his real name was Joseph. But Barnabas in the local language meant son of encouragement. Okay, son of encouragement. And so they named him that just because of what he did. He encouraged people to be nice to one another and to accept each other. Have you ever encouraged other people to do the right thing and to be nice? Yeah? Well, then you can be a Barnabas as well, okay? Because that's what he did. He brought other people together so that they could all come to know each other. Now, that's something that Jesus would want you to do, isn't it? Doesn't Jesus say to do that? And in the church, it works the same way, right? We want to bring people into the church and make them feel like they're members of the church, right? And Jesus says that he's the vine, right? And who are we? We are the branches, right? So you know a vine, and it has branches. So if we're the branches, we're all connected to...
We're all connected to branches, and if a big piece falls down, that means that they're dead.
Yeah, they'll have a tough time, right? So we got to keep everybody connected to Jesus, right? Because that's how we're going to live and we're going to do good things. So that's what Jesus is trying to teach us, is that you want to bring people in and you want to keep together with Jesus. Now, what are you guys going to do today that's going to help you stay connected to Jesus? What's today all about?
We're going to get baptized.
Okay, now 3 of you are going to get baptized. Why don't you 3 of you who are going to get baptized raise your hands? Okay, so you're going to first get connected to Jesus by being baptized. We're going to pour water over you, and that's going to cleanse you from all your sins, and your parents are going to be so happy that you're going to be cleansed from those sins. I only give a guarantee, I give no warranty, okay? And so when Jesus forgives your sin, he connects you to him. And all the rest of you, you already baptized, right? So you're already connected to Jesus. But what else are you going to do today, what all of you are going to do today, that's going to strengthen that connection to Jesus?
We're having our first Holy Communion.
Exactly. You're going to have your first Holy Communion. And you see, the whole point of the first Holy Communion and all the communions that you have after that is that Jesus wants you to stay connected to him, and he wants you to be close to him, and not only to him, but to all of us. So it's not only you that are going to receive communion today, but the congregation is going to receive communion as well, right? So that we can all be together, and we can be the branches and let Jesus be the vine. Okay, so do you think you want to do that? Anybody not too sure about whether you want to do that? Well, we all want you to do that, okay? Because we're really excited that you're going to be closer to us because you're going to get to receive Jesus just like everybody else, okay? So, we're going to get started first with the baptisms and then a little later with the first communions, okay? So why don't you come back to your places here? Now, didn't they do a great job?